Okay, the next topic we're doing is GPs, or geometric progressions. Let's take a look at a number sequence. Okay, if we have a look at this sequence here, you'll notice that from the first term to the second term we're multiplying by 3. And from the second term to the third term we're multiplying by 3. From the third term to the fourth term we're multiplying by 3, and so on. So what we've got here is a geometric sequence. So instead of adding or subtracting in between each term, we're multiplying or dividing. Just as we did with APs, we could define the following as term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, and so on. Okay? So if we have a look at the gap between the two numbers, if you like, that's also called the common ratio. Okay? So if we're multiplying by 3 every time, we say the common ratio is 3. One of the ways to define the common ratio is like this. We say that T2 over T1 is equal to T3 over T2, which is equal to T4 over T3, and so on. And we call that R, which is the common ratio. Okay. If T2 over T1 does not equal T3 over T2, does not equal T4 over T3, it is not a GP. That is, it is not a geometric progression. Okay. So what we can do now is we can make some statements about GPs. Okay. Just as we did before, A is the first term. Okay. So if we start writing out the terms, we would say that A is the first term. We could then say that the second term would be AR, because we're timesing by the common ratio. And the third term would be AR squared. The fourth term would be AR to the 4, and so on. So we have a look. This is T1, this is T2, this is T3, and this is T4. And just as we did before, you'll notice that the 2 is 1 more than the power. The 3 is 1 more than the power. Or we can say the power is 1 less than the nth term. Okay? So a common way of saying it, okay, is we could say that the nth term, okay, we could say that the nth term, Tn, is equal to A r to the n minus 1. Okay? There's the nth term. Okay? Tn equals AR to the n minus 1. Okay? So what you'll notice is that 1 less than the nth term. Okay. Now I've just made a little error over here, which I'll just fix up. Right, that should be a 3. Okay, should be a 3 there. Okay, just get the right one here. Rid of this. Okay. Right. So that there should be a 3. Okay. So you'll notice that the number in the power is 1 less than the term that you're at. There's really a 1 there, it's 1 less. There's really a 0 there, it's 1 less. Okay, and so on. Okay, it's time to do some questions. Okay, so let's start with 6E. Whoops, start with 6E. We'll start with question 1A. Okay, so question 1A says, find the first 4 terms and the formula for the nth term of the GP with. They tell us that A equals 1, and they tell us that R equals 3. Okay, so let's start. Let's find the first 4 terms. Okay, it's a GP, so the first term will be 1. Okay, the second term will be 3. The next term will be 9, and the one after that will be 27. Okay, so the common ratio is 3, so we're just multiplying each time by 3. Okay, that's quite straightforward. Now, let's find the formula for the nth term. Okay, so for the nth term, we know Tn equals AR to the n minus 1. Okay, so the nth term, Tn, equals 1 times 3 to the n minus 1. So Tn equals 3 to the n minus 1. Okay. Let's now have a look at, okay, so 6E, question 2, let's do 2A. Okay, 2A says find T3 on T2 and T2 on T1 to test whether each sequence is a GP. If it is, write down the common ratio, find T6, then find a formula for the nth term. Okay, let's start with A. So for A, the GP is 10, 20, 40. Okay, so this will be T1, T2, T3. Okay, if this is a GP, then T3 over T2 will equal T2 over T1. So that means that 40 over 20 will equal 20 over 10. In this case it does, therefore 10, 20, 40 is a GP. Okay. Alright, the next thing it asks us to do is to write the common ratio. Well, you'll notice we've just found the common ratio. Okay, that equals 2, which is the common ratio. Okay, so what we're required to do now is to find T6. Okay, well let's just check. Let's just write the formula. We know that Tn equals AR to the n minus 1. We know that Tn equals 10 times R is 2 to the n minus 1. Okay, so we're asked to find T6. Okay, we're asked to find T6. So T6 equals 10 times 2 to the power of 5. So T6 equals 10 times 32, which equals 320. Now, just have a quick look at the back of the book, make sure we're right. 6E, question 2, yep, we're correct. And you'll notice already that we've already done the part about finding a formula for the nth term. Okay, so the formula for the nth term we've already done here. Okay, there it is there. So the nth term formula is Tn equals 10 times 2 to the n minus 1. So that's all done there. Okay, let's just do another one just for fun. Okay, so we'll do, let's do 6E 3B. Alright, here we go. So we've got a GP, it's minus 2, 4, minus 8. I've purposely chosen this one because you get a common ratio that's a negative number. Okay, so let's find the common ratio. I think you'll find you can do this one by inspection. We're multiplying by 2 every time. Okay, so the common ratio is minus 2. Okay, and the first term is minus 2. Okay, so find a formula for Tn and find T6. Okay, well Tn equals AR to the n minus 1. So Tn equals minus 2 times minus 2 n minus 1. Okay. Now to find T6, T6 equals minus 2 times minus 2 to the power of 6 minus 1. Okay, so just go over here. So that means that we get T6 equals minus 2 times minus 2 to the power of 5. Now because it's an odd power, we get minus 2 times minus 32, which gives us 64. So the sixth term, T6, is 64. Okay, so we'll just have a quick look at the back, check that we're right. Okay, 3B, and we're right, 64. Alright, can you please now do the following questions, okay? Can you please do out of 6E, let's do question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 1 to 5, 6A, 7, 8, 15, 16. Have fun and enjoy.